December 2019, the whole world was alerted to the outbreak of several cases of unusual pneumonia in Wuhan, a port city of 11 million people in Hubei province in China. In January 2020, the World Health Organization (WHO) identified and named the strange sickness as COVID-19, belonging to the coronavirus family. Since then, the virus, which spreads by inhaling droplets generated when an infected person coughs or sneezes, or by putting into the eyes, nose or mouth the same hands with which a person has touched an infested surface, continues to spread like wildfire, killing thousands of people. Here in Lagos State, the administration of Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu and Dr. Bafemi Amzat, already noted for taking proactive and tough decisions, started making elaborate preparations to prevent and contain, as well as manage people who contracted the virus, which has been declared a pandemic by the World Health Organization. The Infectious Disease Hospital and Biosafety Laboratory, Yaba, was activated for the isolation and treatment of confirmed cases in an effort to combat the threat. The hospital was upgraded to 100-bed capacity, with temporary structures to accommodate more patients, while additional equipment were acquired for carrying out more tests.
What is clear is that there is an incident command center populated by a lot of experts. The federal government staff are there, people are there from World Health Organization, UNICEF, Lagos State government, the SSS are there, the police are there, everybody is in Yaba, so that they get daily updates. What is happening around the country, what is happening around the world, so that they can decide the next level of action.
The administration began with the Enlightenment campaign mounted via traditional and social media platforms. Messages were communicated on the virus, how it is contracted, symptoms which are fever, fatigue, shortness of breath, coughing and sneezing, what to do to avoid it, while a special number 08000 Corona was rolled out for Lagosians to call in case anyone exhibits any of the symptoms.
The program was just timely and important, well planned. Like everybody spoke, the governor, the WHO representative, the commissioner in particular, that the whole idea is to get information disseminated. So to church, because everybody here belongs to a church, a family for a start, representing yourself, a family, church, mosque, school, and your community, the market. It's an important event, very important. And I was telling the person near me that I'm sure the goal for the seminar will be very, very much achieved.
It is very, very, very good, very educative, because if anything happens in Lagos, it is affecting the whole of the country. And as Lagos has started for sensitization, a lot more of the states will copy suit. And this is an avenue for us to educate us about the virus. You wash your hand, you make sure you don't kiss, you make sure that you keep your hygiene.
Inú wa so dùn púpọ̀ nítorí pé a rí pé àwọn ìjọba Èkó wọ́n ní ìfẹ́ ará ìlú lọ́kàn débi wípé wọ́n jẹ́ kó yé wa àwọn ọ̀nà tí a lè gbà dènà àrùn coronavirus, èyí tó jẹ́ pé ó ń jẹyọ káàkiri gbogbo orílẹ̀-èdè àgbáyé, and wọ́n dẹ̀ ti ṣe àlàyé àwọn ọ̀nà tí a lè gbà tí a ò fi ní àrùn náà. Inú mi gan dùn pé mo jẹ́ ìkan lára àwọn èèyàn tó ní àǹfààní láti wà níbí lẹ́nìí, nítorí pé tèmi náà bá délé àwọn tó súnmọ́ wa tí wọn ò ráyè wá a ṣàlàyé fún wọn because téèyàn bá ń fojú wo àrùn yìí wípé kò lè kàn mí ó lè kan èèyàn tó súnmọ́ wa, ṣùgbọ́n tí a bá ti tètè ṣàlàyé fún wọn àwọn ọ̀nà tí wọ́n lè gbà dènà àrùn náà, á ràn èmi fúnra mi lọ́wọ́, á ràn àwọn ará àdúgbò ibi tí mò ń gbé lọ́wọ́, àdúgbò àti community gbogbo area ibi tí mo wà, á ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́.
The enlightenment campaigns continue with the organization stakeholders meeting, the flagship being the one hosted by the Ministry of Information and Strategy with the theme Management and Control of COVID-19 Coronavirus in Lagos State.
We are able to withstand an outbreak, but we may not be able to withstand a very large outbreak. And that is where you come into the equation. We are going to be relying on you for information. We're going to be relying on you to perform good personal hygiene. We're going to be relying on you to ensure that if you're sick, you remain at home and you request medical attention. You do not move around. If you have a cold, if you have a cough, if you have the flu, that you do not spread it to other people at work. It may not be corona, it may be the normal flu or the normal cold. But this is a time when we need to emphasize that it is important when you are sick with a flu or a cold that you do not spread it. You wash your hands regularly. If you sneeze, you make sure you are at a distance from anybody else. You sneeze into a handkerchief or a tissue and you discard and you wash your hands. As often as you can wash your hands, the better it is for you. In our schools, we are teaching our children now to perform good personal hygiene. Let it become a habit. When your children come home, make sure the first thing they do is they go and wash their hands. It is good practice, and we should teach our children that.
Other arms of government, especially the Ministry of Home Affairs, also organized various fora to further sensitize religious leaders and Lagosians in general on the need to be alert and imbibe safety precautions against the spread of the deadly virus.
One peculiar characteristic that the virus possesses is that it has what we call an incubation period of about 5 to 14 days. This simply means that someone who is infected may not even know at the initial stage that it's already harboring the virus in its system. This is the window period where the microorganism gets into the body system, gets nurtured, starts multiplying, and that particular period the person may or may not show any signs and symptoms. So that's the more reason why if an infected person comes in through the airport or any point of entry, for example, it's possible you might have contacted it some 2-3 days ago, but because it's still in the window period between that 5 to 14 days, he may not cough, he may not have body temperature that is raised, he may not sneeze, he may not have chest pain or any signs and symptoms we mentioned earlier. But within that period too, it's not necessary that it gets to 14 days before the person starts manifesting. The person can start manifesting after any of these particular days mentioned. It may be after 14 days, it may be 12 days, it may be 10 days. But a good number of them may not manifest any signs and symptoms between this particular period. But this particular person can infect the next person. That is the major source of concern in this particular species. During that particular incubation period, infection is possible. So we advise generally that we should please anybody we notice that is having this unusual complaints, whether you observe yourself or the person presents himself by complaining to you, let us quickly advise that we should go to the nearest healthcare delivery center.
When the state recorded more cases as a result of the arrival of people from countries with high number of the virus outbreak, the administration took further steps by placing restriction on religious, social and political gatherings of more than 50 people initially. This was later reduced to 25. Emphasis was also placed on the new concept of social distancing.
Fellow Nigerians, from the first signs that coronavirus or COVID-19 was turning into an epidemic and was officially declared a worldwide emergency, the federal government started planning preventive, containment, and curative measures in the event the disease hits Nigeria. The whole instruments of government are now mobilized to confront what has now become both a health emergency and an economic crisis. Nigeria, unfortunately, confirmed its first case on 27 February 2020. Since then, we have seen the number of confirmed cases rise slowly. We also pray for quick recovery for those infected and undergoing treatment. As of today, COVID-19 has no cure. Scientists around the world are working very hard to develop a vaccine. We are in touch with these institutions as they work towards a solution that will be certified by international and local medical authorities within the shortest possible time. For now, the best and most efficient way to avoid getting infected is through regular hygienic and sanitary practices as well as social distancing. As individuals, we remain the greatest weapon to fight this pandemic. By washing our hands regularly with clean water and soap, disinfecting frequently used surfaces and areas, coughing into a tissue or elbow, and strictly adhering to infection prevention control measures in health facilities, we can contain this virus.
From the very beginning, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who doubles as the incident commander of the COVID-19 response team, demonstrates purposeful leadership by conducting regular media briefings. This ensures that Lagosians are kept abreast of the unfolding development. It also fosters considerable measure of public confidence, peace and order. This further helps to checkmate the spread of fake news. Following the further increase in number of cases, more stringent measures were introduced. This entailed the closure of all public and private schools from primary to university level and total restriction on all gatherings, be it religious, political, family, professional or social, such as parties, nightclubs, event centers and rallies. On its part, the administration called down the number of its staff as workers from grade level 1 to 12 were to work from home for 14 days. Government also advised the private sector to do the same by reducing the number of workers that go to their offices to essential ones, while others should work from home.
Fellow Lagosians, today I have also further new directives and guidelines to share with you as follows. We want to employ the organized private sector to encourage as many of their workers that are possible to work from home. Banks and other financial institutions are encouraged to prioritize online channels for their services to the public, with all essential key staff being in the office during this time. Only key staff will not employ them. The Chief Judge of Lagos State has also been directed to ensure that all magistrate and high courts are closed immediately to public and to suspend all court sittings as much as possible. Only essential services should be transacted electronically. All public parks, including those in private and residential estates, swimming pools, gym, workout stations, in all public places are expected to be shut down at this time until further notice.
Moreover, some major markets were shut down across the state. This excludes those that sell or provide essential goods such as foodstuffs, medicals, pharmaceuticals, and other essential services. To cap it all, the security and related agencies were mandated to enforce strict compliance with the shutdown. By asking Lagosians to stay indoors, the administration began the containment strategy, which was to identify, trace, and isolate all suspected cases, including individuals who have come in contact with confirmed cases. While the Lagos state government keeps introducing new measures and ramp up additional capacities to contain the spread, the established procedure and protocol for managing confirmed cases paid off in the successful treatment of the state's COVID-19 index case, a feat that attracted the attention and commendation from the World Health Organization, the global health regulatory body. Meanwhile, enlightenment campaigns became more aggressive as Lagos state government, through the Ministry of Information and Strategy, the state-owned media stations, media partners and other media stations joined in the crusade to sensitize and enlighten Lagosians and by extension Nigerians on the need to take precautionary measures very seriously and break the chain through which the virus has been spreading. In order to successfully prosecute the battle against coronavirus, support came from many quarters. The federal government released the sum of 10 billion naira to the state. Also, Lagos State House of Assembly passed an emergency bill appropriating the sum of 20 billion naira for the state government to prosecute the war against COVID-19. It also passed a law recommending various forms of punishment for people that flout or break the directives of the government. Highly commendable is the various financial and material supports pulled together by private organizations and high net worth individuals. For Lagos State, Guaranty Trust Bank PLC donated and mounted a world-class 110-bed isolation and treatment center at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, formerly Onikon Stadium.
What we have gone around here to do is a formal collaboration and handover of the Lagos Island Isolation Center. This is a 110-bed isolation hospital facility that between Lagos State and the Guaranty Trust Bank have put up. Is in assessment is a world-class facility, and this has been done within a week. As a government, we are very excited with the level of professionalism and the level at which details have been followed at putting up this facility. We are also very impressed with the speed at which all of the various contractors at multi-level had worked tirelessly 24/7 round the clock to put this together. This is a reflection of the strong can-do spirit of Nigerians, and more importantly, the brand called Guaranty Trust Bank. We are going through a trying time globally. We're going through a time in which the level of the pandemic is unprecedented. So we cannot be over-prepared. We have continued to see improvements in the level of people that are in our various other isolation centers, and we're happy with the level of their response, to the recovery process.
Similarly, United Bank for Africa (UBA) PLC donated 1 billion naira to the state, while benefit from various financial initiatives facilitated by the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) and the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) must also be mentioned. This is in addition to the donation of 100 million naira by Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and 3 ambulances by Aliko Dangote. As part of the effort at containing the virus, Lagos State government took delivery of about 40 utility vehicles and acquired over 200 fumigation equipment for decontamination of bus stops, highways, markets, parks, and other public spaces. Further to this, the administration of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and Dr. Obafemi Hamzat rolled out relief packages for the indigent and vulnerable citizens. The emergency food response, coordinated by the Ministry of Agriculture and distributed through the Community Development Association (CDAs), contains 5 kg each of rice and gari, 3 kg of beans, 200 grams of powdered pepper, and 2 loaves of bread. Vouchers were provided for the collection to ensure no family gets double ration. With a projection for 200,000 families, the food package is expected to last a family of 6 for 2 weeks. In addition, 22 makeshift markets were opened in public primary schools for farmers to supply groceries so that Lagosians can get to buy their food needs, especially during the 14-day lockdown directed by President Muhammadu Buhari. More so, the administration called and enlisted retired health workers and volunteers to boost the number of responders battling the pandemic at the forelines. There is no doubt that Lagos State government has made considerable progress in the handling of COVID-19 pandemic. This is why, in addition to the discharge of the index case, more patients have been successfully managed and discharged. It has been a tortuous and an extremely challenging time for us as a people. In these concerted efforts, the inspirational role of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Dr. Obafemi Hamzat and other members of the response team at providing direction at this critical period is highly encouraging. The huge efforts of the personnel on the front lines are acknowledged and appreciated, while the sacrifice of Lagosians who are complying with the various directives have been critical to what has been achieved so far. The people are still urged to adhere strictly to all the precautionary methods that have been put in place.
Let me also now say that it is a world problem, and therefore we must take it serious.
I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to every health worker in Lagos. You are all heroes, and I cannot thank you enough. I want you to know that I'm doing everything I can to tackle this virus in our great city of Lagos. We will get through this, and we will learn from the lessons from COVID-19, so we're all more resilient in the future. We are one world. Together, we can win this fight.
The coming of coronavirus has taught us huge lessons in what we can do when we're united and if we're all committed to the same cause. Together, we shall bring an end to COVID-19 pandemic in Lagos in particular and Nigeria in general.